When you started off, what was the idea?
Sometimes you make friends and sometimes you are friends. So the intention was just that and nothing else.
Extension of the fact that you are quite unfiltered in your life.
I would like to call myself real. The intention is never to offend anyone.
Do you tread carefully when you're broaching a topic, or are you?
I answer all the questions for them before they come.
6 seasons sustaining it, I'm sure, must have not been easy.
Talk shows are not apples to apples.
Right.
Everything is different.
You have Kareena on the show this season, and you've had her earlier as well, right?
Her son and our son, they're like, besties.
When you repeat a guest, how do you ensure that the conversations are not the same?
We pick it up from there because they've achieved so much. Like Kareena came, she was actually pregnant.
One thing you really like or hate the city?
I love the spirit and the traffic troubles. Hi everyone, I'm Neha Dhupia and you're watching me on midday.com.
Hello, welcome to midday.com. I am here with someone, I am not really sure how to describe her in one word. She's an actor, she's a mother, she's a podcast host, she's an anchor, and really a multifaceted personality. Neha Dhupia, who's joined us here today this morning talking about No Filter Neha season 6.
Yes.
6 seasons. Congratulations. I think that's a feat.
I mean, I'm hoping it is. There are parts of me that, firstly, thanks for that introduction, very sweet of you. But there are parts of me that feel that, wow, we've come a long way. And then, like everything else in life, there's a part of me that feels like, oh my God, there's a long way to go. So, season 6, not going to take it away from me or the team or anyone or the guests who've come on the show. And more importantly, the fans who watch the show, that, this is it. Like, we're in season 6 and this time it's on video. Because every time we were doing audio, we still have an audio side to ourselves. But every time we were doing audio, everyone was like, why don't you just go video with this one? So yeah, here we are. We've gone video. We're very excited. I've had a great run. I can say it now because, we've shot the whole season and we've had the conversation. So I know what I'm bringing to the table, apart from me, like the celebrities that have come forward. So yeah, 6 seasons over, like I think 8 years, 9 years.
Right. And when you started off, what was the idea? Was it just your love for, interactions with people, getting to know their stories? What was the idea?
Just this, like sitting on a couch and having a real conversation with, a famous friend of mine.
Right.
Like, everything underlined in that little tagline, like, and all these people are people I'm friendly with, and we all get there, right? Because it's 20 years of like, being in the business. Some who I don't know from before, and it's strange because as soon as you have them on the show, and first is the cold call saying, hi, I'm Neha, and I hope you can put a face to the name, and then immediately everyone's like, yeah, and then I'll be like, I'd really like you to come on the show. So sometimes you make friends and sometimes you are friends. So the intention was just that and nothing else. And there's always that thing that, for me, it's beyond a talk show. For me, it's something that I do, I co-produce. It's for those 2.5 months, it becomes my life.
Right. Also, is it an extension of the fact that you are quite unfiltered in your life?
I would like to call myself real, but unfiltered as in, my approach to things is a little more, I'd like to say, casual. I don't overthink in conversations. If I feel a certain way and I think that, something is a certain way, I just say it. But the intention is never to offend anyone.
Right.
So you can be unfiltered, but my intention is never like to take a jab at someone, but it's about you and me. So if I'm saying something about you to you, then obviously I'm not hurting you. We're having a laugh about.
Yes.
So that's the whole process.
Yes. Do you tread carefully when you're broaching a topic, or are you?
I answer all the questions for them before they come. In my head. I'm like, will this be offensive? Will this be offensive? We go through multiple drafts of questions. We go through our research. Things that they've said, we pick it up from there. I also feel that, my version of a question, and I take immense pride in it. And that's where the writing also comes in. And we have this wonderful writer on the show called Dhruv. So it's like, when the writing also comes in a certain way, so like somebody could have an insider-outsider debate on the business, but my questions around it may be different,
Right.
They could be far more curious, but not offensive.
Right.
I'm using very, very careful words. I'm using my words carefully, sorry. Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where you wanted to ask somebody something and they were not okay with it?
I was not okay with it. I wanted to ask people something, but I was not okay with it because I'm also that person who's on the inside, right? So I'm very privy like to conversations and situations. So, for instance, hypothetically speaking, if someone is in a relationship with someone, and that's a big question that everyone,
Right.
I know the truth, but I will let them speak the truth. And if they don't want to, I respect that because, just because they're on my show, I don't expect them to answer all my questions.
Right.
I expect them to know how to tackle my questions. And having said that, it would be a lie if I told you that people have asked for a one-off tweak or an edit.
Oh.
So that's fine because also we're living in a world where everybody wants to be very careful about the things they
Yes,
say.
yes.
So I always tell them, you come have fun, see what you feel about it, and then if you want to take something out. So our first episode dropped just now. I sent the whole episode to Shad and I was like, you want to take a look at it before everyone else does? He looked at it and he sent me a message saying, it's lovely. Let's just go with it. I love every bit of it. Because, I love that people are accountable for the things they say and brave enough to, have answers or maneuver around my questions. And not to say, it's rocket science or anything. It's a talk show. So you just want to come and have fun. I think a lot. Like I think a lot about the questions because I'm treading that line between
Yes.
knowing I never want my guest to feel disrespected just because I want like 2 minutes of information and I want to be the first one to go out and reveal it through the show. That's not the intention of the show at all.
But at the same time, how do you ensure that the audience keeps coming back? Because 6 seasons sustaining it, I'm sure, must have not been easy.
I always tell myself, and with full respect to every conversation, because conversations are different. Like, everyone compares. It's talk shows are not apples to apples.
Right.
Everything is different. This is a talk show as well, but this is, you're on the journalism side.
Yes.
Whereas, I also feel within journalism there's different kinds.
Yes.
There's instant news reporting,
Yes.
there's live, there's this, there's pre-recorded, there's all of that. So conversations are very different. It's like being in a room full of people, right? What I will talk to you versus what an XYZ will talk to you are two different things.
Yes.
So, I mean, somewhere I feel like I can turn on a little bit of magic.
Right.
Somewhere I feel, but I don't want to like get ahead of myself. But I just feel that magic is a combination of spending time in the business, having friends in the business, doing my research, never crossing the line, but letting them have fun. So, that's what makes it real, like, and I'm hoping that, from 6 we even move on further.
Right.
And if we make any mistakes, which I'm hoping that, are few and far between, we learn from them and then we move on.
You have Kareena on the show this
Yes.
season, and you've had her earlier as well,
Yes.
right? Yeah. I mean, did you guys strike up a friendship when you acted together, or has it been? I mean, is it an extension of that she's been on your show?
Listen, before I actually worked with Kareena, I was always a big fan. I still am. I feel like she's a bona fide star. She's gorgeous. She's bright. All of that, and I feel like our friendship. I mean, now of course it runs through generations because so her son and our son. They're like, besties. So there's
Yes.
my son, Gorek, and there's...
Yes, we saw the photos yesterday.
Yeah, Jay Baba, who are like that. But then it also goes back. So Kareena and me are friends because we
Yes.
worked in Chup Chup Ke and then
Yes.
onwards, we continued to be friends. And there's Saif and Angad who are friends, and there's Soha and me who are really, really close. And then, but before that, there was, Tiger Patori and my father-in-law, Bishan Singh Bedi, who are
yes.
very good friends.
Yes,
And then there's
yes.
Sharmila auntie and, my mom-in-law. So it was just like, I just feel like it's like 3 generations of friendship.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I mean. So when you have someone who's like literally an extension of you and you talk to her every day about different things.
Yes.
So also I feel like the hardest part is maintaining a straight face. So I'm just like 2 minutes later, she and I are going to be discussing a play date or like what's happening, or she's leaving for somewhere and we're discussing what she's wearing and stuff like that, to like, then keeping a straight face and discussing life. But it's great. It really is great. There was one point that I was also recording with Vicky, and I think that we had like I had this burst of non-stop laughter and I couldn't control myself, and he's like, control yourself. Like he kept telling me, he's like, "Tu agar ye shuru kar degi abhi, we'll be here for another half an hour." And I was sitting there, and then he was saying something. I was maintaining a straight face, and I had like a trickle of like a tear that was rolling down because I
You
was
laughed so
wanting
hard.
to laugh so much, and he was talking about something really serious. So things like that also happen on the show. But they're all friends, and
Yes.
then they come because they're friends, and they
Right.
come because they trust me. So I'd never do anything to like put out any information. And And it's not like they have that much information. Probably be like, I may have information as to what someone's doing next. And if they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to talk about it. So, I mean, it's not like just because I'm making my show, they're not going to lay their cards out
Yeah,
for me.
right, right. But how is that so different from, say, maybe having a Rashmika on the show who's very new to the industry as a whole? Yes.
And I want to tell you about Rashmika. It's the first ever chat show she's done.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was really nice. And she was somebody who I didn't know, and I cold called her.
Yes.
And one way or the other, that girl squeezed time right before taking a flight. And I know that she had a really hard flight that she went on. So I kept checking on her soon after. So, we kind of developed a bond after that, which was nice. I mean, it's different because if you don't know someone, you're also very intrigued. So yeah, Rashmika was definitely one of them. For me. Yeah, I'm Karthik and I usually kind of pick it up from where we left it. We're not always in touch, but I know that I can pick up the phone on him, and he knows that he can call me, and then I'm like, oh, it's he's also been on the show many years ago.
Yes.
And it's really nice to see him see so much success over the years, and I feel like he's such a huge representation of just a guy who's not from within the business to make it, and in such a big way. He has such a wonderful, warm, normal side to him that I'm just hoping that an extension of that is seen on our episode as well.
Right. When you repeat a guest, how do you ensure that the conversations are not the same?
We pick it up from there because they've achieved so much. Like Kareena came, and she was actually pregnant with Tim.
Right.
The first time when she was here. And now she's like, two babies and many movies later. And I also feel like the world has changed. So you're also discussing things about what's going on in the world, as opposed to like, who would have thought that, Jab We Met would have been like in the theaters all over again, or like just like different kinds of experiences like that. We spoke about multiple things, and I really bask in the glory of her games. They're a lot of fun.
So that's great, and thank you so much for this conversation. Looking forward to all the episodes of
Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.